Hello, hi everyone. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Okay, so actually let's start the session. Let me share my screen. Okay, so in the last session, we tried to cover the automatic account determination. In automatic account determination, we covered the goods receipt part, how the accounts are getting determined automatically, and even the goods issue part, how the accounts are getting determined automatically. So today, we will be seeing the inventory management of goods issue, and we'll also be see how the inventory management happens for both goods receipt, goods issue, and the transfer posting. Okay, so if we start today's topic, it is an inventory management. So yesterday I mentioned inventory is nothing but stock. So how are we going to maintain the stock? How are we going to manage the stock? So that is an inventory management. So as discussed, first we will see regarding the goods receipt. So goods receipt can be done in multiple ways. So first thing, goods receipt can be done with purchase order, with PO. You can place a PO, get the goods from vendor, and do the goods receipt. Then you can also do the goods receipt against production order. So when you create a production order, so the PP guys will create a production order, and that production order will go to the manufacturing plant that will get manufactured there, and the finished product will come as an output, and that finished product is also an stock for us, and we will also do the goods receipt for it. Then we have the goods receipt without purchase order also. Without purchase order. So when we are going to receive an excess quantity from supplier where we don't have any document, and if business does not want to give that material back to business, sorry, to vendor, in that case, we do the goods receipt without purchase order. So all these goods receipt are going to be differentiated based on the movement type, as I mentioned. So we will discuss regarding this movement type in some time. Okay. Then we have the goods receipt part now. Then we have the goods issue. So yesterday we saw some goods issue movement types. So goods issue can be done with cost center. 201 is a movement type. Here I can tell 101 is a movement type. For this 241 is a movement type. And for this, it is 501 is a movement type. I think in some cases you also do with 101. Okay. Here in the goods issue, we can do the goods issue with the cost center, that is 201. You can do goods issue with the asset, with WBS, with production order, with the network, and the scrapping. Okay, so these all we know. We know about goods receipt and goods issue. All these movements of materials are based on the different movement types. This is very important. And then only system will be able to identify which movement type of material is being taken place. Along with this goods receipt and goods issue, we have one more term called as the transfer posting. We have the one more term called as the transfer posting. So what is this transfer posting? Transfer posting can be the material getting transferred from one place to other place. So we could have transfer posting it to storage location to storage location. Some can do from plant to plant, and some can also do from stock to stock. When I say stock to stock, we have different types of stock. So before we speak about transfer posting, let's speak about what are the different types of stock we have. So types of stock in SAP. So we have unrestricted stock. We have quality inspection stock. Then we have the block stock. So these are the three types of stock we have in SAP. So the material is transferred between these three stock types, as well as from one storage location to other storage location also can be used. And here in this transfer posting, the material are also transferred from plant to plant, as I mentioned, in only in some cases. So what I think that you have a material, you have a manufacturing plant in your business, and all the materials are getting manufactured there. And some other plant need the material, so they don't want to buy it from supplier. They want to take it from this plant because this is a manufacturing plant. In those cases, also you can use a transfer posting, but only in limited cases. Because we have another process called as STO, where you need to use that process to get the material transfer from plant to plant. But in some cases, we use this transfer posting to move the stock. And transfer posting is mainly used to convert the unrestricted stock to quality stock to unrestricted, block stock to unrestricted, and block stock to quality inspection. When we receive the material from vendor, there might be a quality inspection going on. So what they will do is they will not take the material directly into the stock. They take into the quality inspection stock, do the quality check. If everything goes well, they will move the material to unrestricted. If there is any issue in the material, then they will move to the block stock. Okay, so this is how the transfer posting works. But the main thing in the transfer posting is we will not have any accounting document here. So when we do goods receipt, when we do goods issue, so yesterday we saw that we will have two documents. One is a material document and one is the accounting document. But here in this transfer posting, we will only have the material document. There will be no accounting document. Okay, only the inventory is getting transferred. So these are the transfer postings. Okay, we saw now what is transfer posting, we saw what is goods receipt, we saw what is goods issue process that takes place in the inventory management. Okay, if everything is happening within the plant, then let's say this movement are happening within the plant, then the stock is getting increased and decreased. That means when we do goods receipt, the stock is getting increased. When we do goods issue, the stock is getting decreased. In that case, as I mentioned, we have accounting document as well as material document. But in transfer posting also, the stock is getting increased in the receiving plant and decreased in the supplying plant. In that case, we will have only the material document. This is the interview question. So in transfer posting, will we have the accounting document? The answer should be no, because we are only transferring the material from plant to plant or place to place or stock type to stock type. So it's only the material document because there is no increase or decrease on stock. We are just transferring the stock from one place to other place. There is no virtual movement. Okay. Let me take a quick pause here if you have any questions. Any questions?
Good morning, sir.
Yes.
You told us that earlier you mentioned that without PO we can do the GRN, but I
Mhm.
think it is not possible.
Sorry.
Without PO, without issuing the PO, you told us that we can do the GRN, goods receipt
Yes.
note.
Yes, we can.
Is that possible, sir?
Yeah, it is possible.
Uh,
Any more question? Okay. So, if no questions. So let's start in this way. So we already checked the goods receipt in the last session. So yesterday we did how the goods receipt is going to work based on the accounting document. So now let's also see, as there is a question raised, let's also see how to post the goods receipt without the purchase order using the movement types. And also we saw in the last class how the goods issue is going to work. We just explained what are the different types of goods issue. We will try to see how we can issue the goods from one plant to other plant and how can we do the transfer posting. And if the goods issue is happening between company code to company code, how are we going to do that? And against cost center, how we are going to do that? And for scrapping, how we are going to do? And for both business needs, if a different GL account, then we discussed yesterday that how are we going to manage those? Using the movement type, we are going to differentiate the GL accounts using the account modifier. And we also saw the offsetting account. So let's see all those things in the system. Okay. And for these, let us create a scratch material and see what is this configuration we have for inventory management. But we will not be doing the complete configuration for the inventory management because this is an integration between the warehouse management and the MM. So we will be doing only minimal configuration for inventory management, and the complete configuration depends and lies on the warehouse management people. Okay. In the meanwhile, I log into system. If you have any questions, you can ask me. I'll log into system and share my screen back. Any questions? Okay. If no questions, then we'll see the configuration of inventory management. So I go to the SPRO transaction. In SPRO transaction reference IMG, then I go to the material management. And before I show the configuration of inventory management, there is one more thing which I need to discuss with you guys is the extended warehouse management. So when we are working in SAP, we have two options to manage the stock. One is the inventory management and one is the extended warehouse management. In inventory management, as we all have seen, we can place a purchase order. We can go to the MIGO transaction, do the goods receipt, and take the stock into account. But when you have the extended warehouse management, which is the module of warehouse management, initially it was called as just warehouse management, and now they are calling it as extended warehouse management. So in that case, we will not be able to do the goods receipt using the MIGO transaction, which is MIGO. We need to create the inbound delivery and then we need to post the goods receipt in the extended warehouse management system. So how can we differentiate that part? How can we tell system that we are into inventory management or we are into extended warehouse management? So before in ECC or before some versions of SAP, there was one system called as decentralized system, where we used to use this SAP here and the extended warehouse management in other system. But both looks similar to an SAP system. So these both systems are different, and we used to combine this system or integrate the system using the integration functionality, which is decentralized. Now, in the 3 to 4 years before version, SAP has automatically embedded that extended warehouse management into our system, into SAP system, and we have this option called as SCM extended warehouse management. So here, the warehouse management people does their configuration. Even they have their own master data like warehouse numbers. And this extended warehouse management comes into picture after we completely create the storage location. And this warehouse number, storage type, storage sections, storage type group, storage bins, staging area. So all these are their master data. And these are going to come under the storage location. Okay. And if this part is active in system, then we will not be able to do the goods receipt in MIGO transaction. We will be able to do the goods receipt in the inbound delivery, that is in the extended warehouse management system. So how to differentiate that? To differentiate that, we have this confirmation in the PO. So if we open the PO, when we are placing a purchase order, we have this confirmation tab here in the item detail. So here we have this confirmation control keys. So 0001 is a confirmation, 0002 is a rough GR, 3 is inbound delivery or rough GR, 4 is an inbound delivery. So when you activate this or when business wants to use this extended warehouse management, then, and if they want to do the goods receipt in EWM, then they need to go with this confirmation. they should have the confirmation control key as 0001, or they should have at least the confirmation control key 0004. The difference between 0001 and 0004 is, in this one, you will get the order confirmation from supplier. You will also get the inbound delivery getting created for this purchase order. And for this 0004, we will only be able to create the inbound delivery. Okay, if we are using the inventory management, we can keep it as blank, or you can select this 0003. Okay, so this configuration comes under the MM module. So if I show that configuration first, you need to go to the material management. Under material management, go to the purchasing. Under purchasing, you will see this confirmation. This is just if you want to see, or if you want to activate the purchase orders for the extended warehouse management. So here, if you have the confirmations, you have the external confirmation and internal confirmation. So this external confirmation is nothing but if you're going to receive the confirmation from external supplier or external system. This is predefined, we don't want to change anything. So I just want to show this. Here in the confirmation control key, AB is nothing but, this is a confirmation control key, AB, which is going to record the order acknowledgement. When I say order acknowledgement, it is the order confirmation. You have A, which is the inbound delivery. This is an external confirmation. And when you see the internal confirmation, this internal confirmation is dedicated for the STOs, the stock transfer requisition. When we are getting the material from other plant, we have a concept called stock transfer requisition, which we'll be covering in the next week, mostly Saturday or Sunday. So in that case, these are going to come into picture. We have only these 4 confirmation. Apart from these 4, we don't have any. You cannot create the new entry also. And how to reflect these into POs. So you have set up confirmation control. Here we are going to create these confirmation controls. And under this, you are going to maintain what are the activities happening. If I select 0001, system is saying you need to record the order confirmation and also the inbound delivery. Okay. And if I go to just inbound delivery or rough for inbound delivery, you will be able to see the inbound delivery. You can do the inbound delivery, and you can also do the goods receipt in the Migo transaction. If you take just rough GR, you will be only able to do the goods receipt in the Migo transaction. So this is how the inventory management is going to change based on the system we use. Okay, so this is just an information for you guys. Because nowadays all the business, all the companies who are implementing SAP need extended warehouse management. So you should know this part. If you don't know this part, then you will not be able to differentiate the goods receipt in the extended warehouse management and in inventory management. Only some people use inventory management who does not have big warehouses. If they have big warehouses, then they are going with extended warehouse management. And one more thing, we have 2 types of procurement, which is direct procurement and indirect procurement. All the direct procurement will flow through extended warehouse management, and all the internal transactions, like if you are going to do an indirect material purchase, the consumables, those are going to happen in the inventory management. Okay, so these are the difference between inventory management and the AWM. So this is just an information. And now if I go and speak regarding the inventory management, which is today's topic. So we have this plant parameter. So if you guys don't have your plant here, whenever we create a plant, that plant will automatically come into picture here. In some cases, this plant will not flow. So create your plant parameter. So what is this plant parameter? This plant parameter is going to decide how are we going to take the stock inward. Now, for example, you have a plant, you are ordering the material from vendor, but you did not mention or specify the storage location in the PU. In that case, when you're doing goods receipt, you need to enter the storage location manually. That is what we are doing now. So whenever we do the goods receipt, we are entering the store location manually. And here you have create store location automatically. If we select this, for each and every transaction, system will create its own store location. You don't want to enter the store location manually, that will come automatically. But business will not prefer this. Because for each and every transaction, if the store location is keep on getting increased, then you will have a lot of store locations which are recorded in system. So it will become very difficult to search the material in which store location the material is. Okay. Then you have the second thing is delivery completed default. So in purchase order, you have this option called as delivery completed. Once you do the goods receipt for the purchase order, this delivery completion indicator should automatically get marked or not. So if I show where is the delivery completed indicator, in the purchase order, in the delivery, you have this delivery completed. If I do goods receipt for this 50 pieces, this checkbox will automatically appear. If you don't want this checkbox to appear automatically, if you still want to keep the PO open, then uncheck this. Okay, so these both are very important here. And coming to this side, these are related to the batch management. So if you're going to receive the material, are you going to receive the material in batch? So if you have no idea of batch, take any product what is beside you, where you have the MRP, all those things, you will find the batch number. You will find the batch number. So this batch number will tell and explain you when this was manufactured and what is the expiry date for this batch. And each and every product will have different unique batch number. So this batch number is going to decide when we will be having the expiry date of this and when was this manufactured. This is mainly applicable in the business like pharmaceutical, FMCG, okay, and which all product has expiry date. For those, you will have this batch management. Okay, and you have the GR or GI slip number. So whenever you want to issue the goods or receive the goods, a GI or GR slip number gets automatically picked up. Okay, if you don't have your plant parameter, get the plant parameter activated. Only then your inventory management will work. Okay, then what we saw in the plant parameter are just below here. So we have the system messages. So what all error messages or warning messages you get while you do goods receipt or goods issue that can be managed here. You can convert the warning into error, error into warning. That is this part. Then you have the number ranges. Number ranges for goods receipt. When you're posting a goods receipt, we are getting an accounting document number and also an material document number. So you can manage those here. So if you want an accounting document number range to be set, we can do it here. And whenever you are going to do a goods receipt, if you want the number range to be different, we can do that. So normally we are going to use this WE as a document type. Okay, WE is for goods receipt. We discussed this when we were discussing regarding P2P cycle. So WE is for goods receipt and WF is for the goods issue. WA is for the goods issue. WA is for goods issue and WE is for the goods receipt. These are the two document types which we'll be using. And if you want the number ranges for financial accounting, you can do the number ranges. So I'm using the standard number range, which is this. I think I'm using this. Okay. If you want to use the number ranges, you can do the number ranges. You can set up here. Okay. So inventory management config is pretty standard. We will not be touching it. And then if I go to the field selection, so you can decide which field is mandatory, which field is not mandatory in when you're doing the goods receipt or goods issue. This is at the header level. When I say header level, this is only goes with this part. This part. The delivery note, bill of lading, GA or GI slip number, header text. So these are the header part. If I execute this, you will see only these. These are with delivery note number, individual slip number, and you will also see the GR or GI slip here. Once again, my freeze got frozen. Okay, collective slip. So these all are, you'll be able to see it here when I put a number. So here, individual slip number. So these all are here. Individual slip, collective slip. So all these are in the header information. If you want to just change or make the mandatory fields for this in the header, then you can use this field selection for the header level. Then you have the individual steps for the goods receipt, goods issue, all those things. Then this is a field selection for Migo transaction, for the complete Migo transaction, including header and item. And this field selection is for the movement type. For which movement type, what will be your required entry or the optional entry. You can also control the field selection based on your movement type. So I'll come to movement types. What are movement types? We'll run some postings in using movement type and see. And here you have the goods issue. So what we saw in the plant parameter, you will be able to see in individual here. So do we want to create store location automatically when you do the goods issue? If you are maintaining in the plant parameter, that is optional here. Allow negative stock, scope of availability check. So these all are taken care by the P&A or sales and distribution, and also the inventory management people. The main thing what I want to cover here is the movement type. So here we have the movement type. Movement type starts from 1 series. Movement type 1 starts from 1 series and ends with 7 series. Normally, from 1 series, it is taken till we don't use 8 series. These are custom created. Ends with 7 series. So just to give an overview of movement types, I don't want you guys to remember all 324 movement types which is in the system, but at least you need to understand that what movement type number series are doing what. So we'll make a note of this. So 1 series is completely for goods receipt. So let me write it down, it will be easier. Remembering all 300 movement types are difficult. So you guys can remember in this way. So 1 series is for goods receipt. Okay, this might also bit vary, but 1 series is for goods receipt and 2 series is for goods issue. 3 series is for transfer posting. 4 series is for also transfer posting. 5 series is for without PO, subcontracting. 6 series is for STOs. 7 series is for physical inventory. Okay, so these are the movement types which we'll be using. Now, if I go into movement types and explain what are the movement types we have, or we will see some movement types. So each and every movement type is defined for some reason. For example, here you see, I said 1 series is for goods receipt. So 101 is used when you are going to do the goods receipt for PU. And if you want to reverse that goods receipt, then you can use 102. So the next number of the goods receipt is the reversal number. Okay, that is very important. You can also remember that part. And 103 is when you're going to do the goods receipt and loading the stock into the block stock. Okay, and 104 is a reversal of that. 104 is the reversal of that. And 105 is taking the goods receipt into block stock again, out of the block stock. Now, for example, you're doing a goods receipt of some materials and that got failed in quality inspection and you are moving that stock to the block stock. Okay, then the supplier will come to your warehouse, get those repaired, product repaired, and then he will tell that this is now quality okay. So now you move that to block stock. You need to remove that from block stock. So to remove from block stock, you'll be using 105. Okay. And to make the stock valuated, you will be using 107. Okay, like this, you have all the moment types related to goods receipt here. So 121 is very important. You will be doing the subsequent adjustment. If you want to return the material to vendor, you will be using 122. And if you want to do a goods return to vendor directly, you will be using 161. Okay, like this, you have all those things. Now, when I move to 202 series, from 2 series, complete goods issue gets started. You can issue the goods using the cost center. You can issue the goods to the project, the sales order. Okay, to the order, just order if I say production order, to the network. Then you have the 3 series here. From here, 3 series get started. In the 3 series, I said it is only for the transfer posting. You can see TF is nothing but transfer posting from plant to plant, from store location to plant. Here only the transfer posting happens in the 3 series. Quality inspection to plant, block stock to plant. And if I go to 4 series is also transfer posting from store location to store location. And we can move the stock from vendor stock to our stock, all those things. Now, if I come to 5 series is completely doing a goods receipt without purchase order. Without any document, you will be able to do the goods receipt using 5 series movement types. So, and you can also do the subsequent adjustment, do the subcontracting. Here in 5 series, the both happens, the goods receipt and goods issue happens, but all the things are special stock. So here you're going to issue the subcontracting stock. If you're going to do a goods issue scrapping here, you can do the scrapping from block stock. So understand that 5 series is completely related to the goods receipt as well as the goods issue, but only for the special stock. Like without purchase order, subcontracting, scrapping, all those things is going to happen in the 5 series. Then if I go to 6 series from our side, we only need to remember 6 series is for stock transfer. 641 is for stock transfer. So that is sufficient for us. And then we have the 7 series. 7 series helps us to understand. Let's create this. Okay, 7 series is here. 7 series is for the physical inventory. So we'll try to cover the physical inventory also today. So 7 series is for physical inventory. So each and every transaction, what is happening, or each and every movement, what is happening in the inventory depends on the movement type in SAP. So now let's see what are the movement types which you'll be using frequently and what are the postings we do in inventory management. So let me go to Vigo transaction. So you all guys know we have done the goods issue receipt. Yesterday we also saw the goods issue. So now what we will do, we have not seen how the stock is getting moved. So let me create quickly a new material to show it more visible. Z ZM45, I think ZM45. So let me create quickly a material. Any questions here before I move regarding movement types? In the meanwhile, I'll create a material.
Hi, Venkatesh.
Yes.
So movement type is a transaction which happens in the background, is it?
No, movement type is decides the transaction what should happen.
Okay. So it's basically related to finance or MM?
No, it is related to MM and warehouse.
Okay.
So this is the material I'm creating. I'm also opening the stock overview. As of now, I'll not have any stock, zero stock. So here you can see the stock types, unrestricted, quality, reserved. We are not using all those things. I'll explain when it is required. This reserved is used by PP. Receipt reservation is used by PP. On order stock is nothing but when you have open PO. Consignment order when we move to the special procurement, stock transfer is special procurement, block stock when we are returning the stock. So now let's play with this stock types. So what I'll do is I'll place a purchase order for this material. Let me raise it for some 1,000 pieces. I'm saving it. As soon as I create a purchase order, this is the purchase order I have. So for this material, there was zero stock in MMBE. And now if I go to MMBE and just refresh, I have this 1,000 stock coming in this list. Because as I mentioned, when we have an on order stock, so on order stock is nothing but where we have the purchase order placed, but it is not inward yet. Okay. So now let's do the 10 or 1 series movement type. So I'll go to goods receipt, put the purchase order. So this is a purchase order. Okay. So here I have the movement types. So if I want to do the goods receipt for 101, then the stock will directly go and fall under the unrestricted. So let me take 101. I'll just do for 10 pieces. Okay. I'm just doing for 10 pieces. I'm checking post. Location. So if I select this create location automatically, then this will not ask. So goods receipt got posted. Now if I go to MMBE and refresh, the unrestricted stock will get increased to 10 pieces because we just did a goods receipt for this. And the on order stock will get reduced to 990 because 10 pieces got received in the warehouse. This is 101 movement type. Now let's assume that the vendor has delivered the goods to us, but that should go for a quality inspection. So I don't want that to be directly moved to the stock. I want this material to be inwarded in the quality inspection. So see where is a quality inspection movement type. It should be here in the 1 series itself. If you don't find quality inspection goods movement type here, select 101 itself. And here you have the stock type. Select the stock type of quality inspection. You can do both the ways. Put the location, put the quantity. I'll just do 20 pieces as of now because I want to differentiate the quantity. Item OK and post. Okay. Now if I go and refresh here, the 20 pieces are going to come and fall under the quality inspection. From here, the quality inspection team will pick these 20 pieces and do the quality check and approve it and then move it to the unrestricted. Now, assume that, okay, let me complete 1 series and then move to the other series. Now, I received some material from vendor. and I did not find any issue with the material, I will directly move the stock to the block stock. I just want to move 5 pieces of the block stock. I have an issue with the material. So I'll put the quantity. I can directly change here the block, or I can also use the moment type 103. So 103 is GR block stock. So there are two block stock in the SAP system. One is you are completely blocking it, and you are GR blocking it. What is the difference is if you're completely blocking it, the stock will not come out of the block stock. You should and must return to the supplier directly. Then you have the GR block stock, which is this. When you do the GR block stock, you are holding the stock. You are holding the stock for some reason, and you will be doing a repair and taking that into the stock. So let me do first the GR block stock, and let me keep it this as it is. That is 103. Momentum is not possible. Let me change it. Okay, I'm into 103 now. I'm putting the quantity 50 pieces. 50 pieces I want to move to block stock. And that is GR block stock, not block stock, GR block stock. Check, and I'm posting it. Now, if I go to MMBE and check in the GR block stock, if you just refresh it, in the GR block stock, I'll see 50 pieces. It's a GR block stock. In this stock details, you will have GR block stock, and you will also have the block stock. When you select the stock type as block stock, then that is going to fall under block stock. Then you're selecting GR block stock, that is going to fall under the GR block stock section. So this is how we are going to use the movement types of one series. Okay, now before I start using the issues, let me play some with transfer posting. So I said transfer posting movement types will start from 3 series and 4 series. So if you want to select a transfer posting, select here the transfer posting. So the movement types will get filtered. Initially, you will be able to see 1 series. Now you will not be able to see 1 series or 2 series, because this option will just show the transfer posting movement types. Okay. Now let's see that we want to transfer one material from plant to plant. Okay. So in that case, my material should be available in 2 plants. As of now, it is only available in 1 plant. So let me extend this material for the other plant. This material. Let me extend this to the other plant. To extend the material, I'll be using M01 itself. I'll be extending it for just a basic view. I'll be extending this for this plant. Standard price. Okay, I extended it for 1995 plant. If you go and check in MM60, or if you go and check in the table level, you will be able to see this material in the 2 plants. Okay, now what I'll do, I'll do a transfer posting. So I'll select 301, enter. I'm putting this material from this plant, from this store location. I want to move to this plant and store location. I just want to move 5 pieces. Okay, I'll check this. No stock posting possible for material. Okay, so the issue might be, can someone analyze what is the issue here? For this material, the posting is not possible. The reason is the material ledger for this material in this plant is not active. So if I go to the accounting view, you can see the material ledger is not activated. The reason is for this plant, the material ledger might be activated, but in the material type, for this plant and the material type, the ZM45, the quantity and value update is not active. For this reason, the material is not allowed for posting. Let me show that. As soon as we see the error, we need to understand from where this error is coming. So that should happen when you're working as a consultant. So if I go to this, my plant, it is active. If I check for this plant, it is not active. For that reason, the material is not be able to post in the other plant. So let me take this plant. And again, extend the material for the plant again. So it is active now. I'll go back. Let me try to extend it now. So basic data, purchasing, general plant and accounting. 1996. For this, the material ledger is also not active. So let me activate the material ledger for this. 1996. OMX3. 1996. I think I don't want to repeat all this because you know how to activate the material ledger. Okay, now it is active. So I go and now try to create the basic data, purchasing, general plant and accounting, 1996. Okay. Before I save, I'll just check material ledger is active. Okay. And the standard price is this. I'll see. So now I'll go to the Migo transaction again and remove this 1994 and put 1996. Check. Posting is not possible. So again, I need to check who is the company code for this. To check the company code, I came to this transaction. It is AK91. So I go to MMRV, see in which period we are in. This 9/2022. Then it is going to be huge task for me. 22. We are in April, May, June, July. Fourth month of 2024. So we need to shift the date till fourth month of 2024. So let me do that quickly. Now we are in 9, 10, 11. So you all know the period can be shifted only from 1 month. Now we cannot directly jump to the month we need. So it should be done for each and every month. And one more thing, when you're shifting this posting period, we will be having two posting periods for one for MM and one for FI. And once we go to future, We cannot come back to the past. That is very, very important. So keep that in mind. Before you do this posting, get the confirmation from the FI people and do it. Okay, so I'm shifting it now. We are in July. So if the cycle starts from April, so April will be first, May will be two, June will be three, and July will be four. So I wanted to shift it till fourth. So now I am into current period of fourth. If I just refresh and check this, I'm into fourth. So now I'll go and post the goods receipt. Check. The issue got resolved. Post. Again, we have the error with the valuation area. Yes, system C. Okay, I think it is. We cannot move this material to this plant because this plant is having some issue. It has a valuation issue. So if we try to do this posting, then the stock gets moved from unrestricted stock one plant to the other plant. So if we take some other plant which is in my company code itself, again I have to start from scratch again then. The issue is the data in all the plants are inconsistency. So I have so many plants. 2007. Better before I create, let me check all the things and come back to it. ZM45. The issue is I used ZM45 with this custom material type. If I would have used the material type ROH or FERT, then I would have not got an issue with the material ledger when I use for the first plant. So find this will also give you an experience where to find what is an issue. So I'll be extending it for ST10. For ST10, I'll activate this both, save it. For ST10, for sure, I would have activated the material ledger. So let me take the general plan and accounting. ST10. Okay, I'll just directly move to the accounting view. It is activated. And I'm saving it. Now let me quickly check the MMRV part. ST10 was the plant. Does not exist. Okay, ST10 is in my company code, so I'll have no issue. So I'll put ST10 and I'm going to check. I don't have any issue. I'll post. Okay, this is fine. So this is an accounting issue that we will be able to resolve in OBYC. So system is saying in BSX, you don't have an entry. So what is the entry? It is blank S999. S999. If it is coming for PSX, it will come for other transaction also. Check. I'm going to post. So it got posted. So I come to display mode. So this is the transfer posting we have done. So when we are facing so many issues, these many issues you might come into picture when you are starting to work on SAP, when it is from scratch. So if the system is set up and if you're working on support project or rollout project, you might not get so many issues. If you're working on a greenfield project, and if you want to start the system to build from scratch, and you want to run one complete cycle and show it to business, you might get a lot of issues. So all the issues need to be resolved, and you need to rectify where the issue to be resolved. Now, if I just refresh, 5 pieces are in 1994 company code or plant, and 5 pieces are in ST10 plant, which is SL01. So I have moved 5 pieces from unrestricted to unrestricted, but using the moment type 301 from plant to plant. Okay. In the same way, you can also check with the other moment types. You can do from store location to store location. You can do from stock type to stock type. Okay. So there are moment types, you can play with them. So I'll give a list of moment types which are very important for consultants. So you can use those moment types and move the stock from one place to other place. Any questions here? And I also show the goods received without purchase order. So I go to without purchase order. To do without purchase order, select other. Directly enter the material. Put the quantity, I'll put 100. Where I want to load, I'm loading it in this. I need to do the movement type of 501. 501 is a movement type without purchase order. I need to check this and post this. Account determination issue. I'll go to GBP. In GBP, it is XYZ, ZOB, XYZ, ZOB, this, this. Okay. Now, if I have posted this without purchase order, I did not raise any purchase order for 100 pieces, but I've posted a goods receipt without purchase order for 100 pieces. Very fresh. I'll see the 100 pieces should be there. What did I do? Display. This is 501. I posted 100 pieces. Okay. Okay, I posted it for different material. Let me do it for this material quickly. Material. Quantity, I'll do 100 pieces. Where? Using 501 movement type, which is without purchase order. For this plant, for this store location. And I posted it. And if I go and refresh, the 100 pieces got increased. So this might happen only in some cases, but when we are doing this activity, we need to get a finance confirmation if they're okay with the accounting document they get. Because for this stock, they will be not paying the vendor. They are getting this stock free of cost. Okay, so these are the important moment types we are going to use in inventory management. And you can explore many more moment types, whichever are required. Any questions? Any questions?
Can you please once again explain what is the difference between material movement and goods receipt movement? Like, for example, in goods receipt, we write 101. Then
Sorry,
material movement also.
you need to repeat your question. I understood just what is the difference between material movement and the goods movement. Both are same.
Okay. No, there were like two kinds of, you have to enter two kinds of movements, right? One is at the beginning of the document, and another while you were writing the material, right?
No, you mean that I entered the movement type here and also entered the movement
Yeah,
type here.
yeah, yes.
Yeah. This is the movement type at the header. In some cases, the movement type will not get picked into the item level. So we need to enter at the item level also.
Okay, but those are same, right?
Yeah, both are same.
Okay.
Any more questions? Okay. If no questions, then I'll discuss regarding the another topic into inventory management, one which is the physical inventory. So anyone has an idea what is physical inventory?
Yeah, physical inventory is that the business will physically check and count each and every material after particular time period, and they will do the adjustments if at all it is necessary.
Okay. Anything? Okay. So let me tell. So physical inventory is adjusting the stock as per the stock we have physically in hand. So this process will be carried out by business to adjust the inventory. Now it can be carried out by business every quarter. It can be done every 6 months or every year. That depends on business to business. For example, let's take an example and discuss that will be very easy. So let us take that we have a material in SAP. In SAP, we have material which is M1. One second. Sorry. Yeah. In SAP, we will have a material M1, for example, and they have 100 pieces physically. When I say physically, when you go and count the material in the stock, in the warehouse, manually, you are sending a person to check, you're asking him to go and check this material, how many pieces we have in the warehouse. So that person will tell he has found 100 pieces. But when you log into SAP MMBE, you will be only seeing 80 pieces. So this is a discrepancy. Okay. When you find this as a discrepancy, in that cases, we need to run the physical inventory process. In this case, the material which you are counting physically and the stock what you have in SAP is not matching. So they need to do the adjustment of the inventory in system. Only you can do the adjustment in system. You cannot do the adjustment physically. If you're going to do adjustment in the physically, then it is going to create a mess for everyone. So every time we prefer to do the adjustment in the system. If you're seeing 80 pieces in system, then you should make, sorry, if you're seeing 100 pieces in physically, then you should make 100 pieces in SAP. So this will happen only when we take care of this physical inventory process and the stock can be adjusted. So in this physical inventory process, what we will be doing is we will be creating a physical inventory document and we will hand over the document to the person who is going to count the material. So this difference will not be able to find until we create a physical inventory document. No one is going and checking the stock, or no one is going and checking this, what is the quantity we have in the warehouse or what is the quantity we have in SAP. We are going to check this only every quarter, every 6 months or every year. That depends on business to business. Okay, so if I tell briefly, we will go to the transaction MI01 to create physical inventory document. Okay, so this document will get created only for one plant. This is very important, one plant and one store location. You cannot create this document for multiple plants. When you're creating a physical inventory document, it should be created only for one plant. Under that plant, if you have multiple store location also, you will be able to create only for one store location. And then you will be entering the material codes into it, for which you need to do the physical inventory, and you will create the document. And to create, we said that MI01, to change, we will be using MI02, and we will be using MI03 to display. These are the transaction codes. And after you create the physical inventory document, we are not going to give the system access to the person who is going to count. We are going to take the printout of this physical inventory document using MI21. You will be taking the printout and you will hand over this document to the person who is going to the physical inventory checking. Because if you give the system access to this person, he will see what is the quantity he has in the system, and he will directly write down that quantity. He will not count it. But the person who is going to count the material, he should not know what is the material count he has in the system. So only then he will be able to count it properly and give the count. After he counts the material, he will go to the transaction MI04. He will go to the transaction MI04 and he is going to enter the quantity there. Enter the quantity in system. Okay, if you want to change the quantity after he entering, you can go to MI05 and change. If you want to just display, you can go to MI06 for display. These transaction codes are very important for physical inventory. Then once this part is done, the management from higher authority will come and check what is the difference. To check the difference, he will go to the transaction MI20 to see the difference. Difference means what is the SAP quantity and what are the physical quantity which are counted. If you see an example, we took an example that in SAP we saw 100 pieces in SAP, but physically we had only 80 pieces. So in MI04, the person is going to enter 80 pieces. In SAP, it will show 100 pieces. So the difference is 20 pieces. So we need to reduce the stock in SAP. We need to reduce the stock in SAP. So that amount or that quantity you will be seeing in MI20. If the difference is more, if business does not agree with this difference, and if he want to recount, he will suggest the person who is going to count to recount the material, and he need to re-enter the material or count in MI04 again. Okay, if the count is okay, if the difference is okay for the business, then he will go to MI07 and he is going to post the difference. He is going to post the difference. Once this difference are posted, the material document will get created, and also the accounting document gets created. This is like a transaction happening. It might be goods receipt, it might be goods issue for some time based on the adjustment you're doing. If you're increasing the stock in the SAP system, then it is a goods receipt transaction. If you're decreasing the stock in the system, then it is a goods issue transaction system. Okay, so it might be goods receipt or goods issue. So for goods receipt and goods issue, you will have both you will be having both a material document as well as physical and accounting document. Okay, when the stock is getting increased, you will have the movement type getting triggered 701 when it is increased. When you're decreasing, the movement type is 702. I think it's vice versa. Let me check that. When we post and transaction, we will see it might be when it's increased, it is 702, or it decreased 701. Let me confirm that. And this is also an offsetting account or offsetting transaction. When I say offsetting transaction, the transaction keys which comes into picture is BSX and GBB. If it is a normal transaction, then you will be able to see BSX and WRX. As this is an offsetting account, this is for BSX and the GBB. When you're saying GBB, then for this physical inventory document, we need different accounts to be defined. So we will be using the account modifier, which is INB. These all are important. These all are inter equations. Okay, so this is how the process happens. Now, if you try to see in system, you will see the physical inventory document will get created. We will check. We will add the count in the system. We will see the difference and we'll post the difference. Okay, so this is how the physical inventory process works. Before I go into system and start doing the physical inventory, any questions?
Accounts departments needs to be informed, right? Before doing the changes.
Sorry,
Once
accounts
the
department.
needs to be confirmed, right? Before doing changes in the SAP.
No, when we are doing physical inventory, they will already been set up. So when you're doing this offsetting account, so finance will have some information that when we are doing physical inventory, this difference should go and fall under one account, and they will assign that account into GBP for the account modifier INB. When I'm assigning an account in GBP with the account modifier INB, then I'm assigning only with the movement type specific. So finance will already adjust their system and tell that system that whenever the 701 or 702 moment type is coming, then this is the account which should get affected by GBP. So they don't want to get informed every time.
Okay.
If the value is huge, for example, if the difference is huge, only then we'll be checking with business, should we do this or not? Or how can we do this in an alternate way? And this is not acceptable every time or every quarter. If there is a mistake, then that is fine. If there is no mistake, and if you're just adjusting the stock every time, then even finance will have a question to answer on the audit. Questions? Okay. If no questions, then let me create a physical unit document using MI01. I go to MI01. So this is the physical inventory screen. So as I mentioned, you will be able to create the physical inventory document at once, only for one plant and one store location. Okay. And here you have one more thing called as posting block. So this posting block is very, very important while you create a physical inventory document. This should be clarified to business very clearly that when the physical inventory is going to happen for this particular materials, you don't want to issue the goods or you don't want to receive the goods. The posting for this material is completely blocked. For example, if you're raising a physical inventory document today, system will take what is the quantity in system today. Then the person will go and count. When he's counting again, if the goods receipt is happening and stock is coming and falling under his warehouse, so that is going to increase the stock in the warehouse, but not in system. And if he count this and post, then there might be discrepancy. So what we will be doing is we will be telling a posting block here. We will set a posting block here so that until this physical inventory document is not closed, we will not be able to take the goods inward or we will not be able to take the goods outward. Okay. Then we have this freeze book inventory. We can also freeze the book inventory who cannot issue it. Okay. So now I'll take this, click on enter, and I'll start putting the materials. So let me take some materials. I'll take this material, one is this, which we created now, and I'll take some material which is created yesterday. I'll take this. I'll take just 3 materials. I'll run 3 scenarios. Let me run 3 scenarios, which will help us to identify all 3 cases. I'm going to run the case where the stock is correct, where the stock is more, where the stock is less, and where the stock is correct. So I'm taking these 2 materials. Okay, enter. As soon as you enter, this will get disappeared. I'm going to just hit. The material got created. If you want to change, you can go to MI02 and change it. You have these 3 materials. If you want to add, then you can go to change, and you have an option here for new entries. So new entries can be entered. Okay, so I have only these 3 materials. So this is how I create a physical inventory document that is very quick. Now I'll take this number, go to MI21, I put this, execute, put the printer name. So this is how the physical inventory document looks. So for which plant are we going to do the physical inventory? What is the document number? Who has created it? And when are we going to plan this counting? And what all are the materials? Okay, so these are the 3 materials, and this printout will be taken and he will be giving to the auditor. So he will just enter the quantity here with the pen and give you the printout back. Okay, as soon as he give this data, assume that he has given the data. Let me take a count here. Let me check the MMB because I want to run 3 scenarios. So I want to check the count. So for this, I have 105 ending with 8 as I have 105. This one I have 105. Let me make a note of it. So 105 for 78. And for 5 series ending with 10. For this, I have 100. For 5 series, the second one, I have 100 for 5 series and 8177. For 8177, I have 110. 77, 110. Okay, I have taken the count stock quantity. Now don't forget about the stock. Now I have taken the printout. Now I need to enter the count. So I'm giving this printout. So I'm giving this printout to 1 second. Okay. So I'm going to take this printout and give it to the person for the counting. So he will write the quantity here and give it to me. So as soon as he write, I will go to this transaction MI04 and I'll enter the quantity what he has counted. So think that he has counted 50 pieces for this. Okay. And 150 pieces for this. And 110 pieces for this. This is the count he has given to me. I'm entering this in system. Still, I'll not be able to see any of the quantity here. Okay, still I'm not able to see what is the SAP system quantity. And I'm going to save this. If you feel you want to change, you can go and change. If you feel you want to just display, you can just display it. Okay, till here, you will be able to see only the quantity what you have entered. Now the higher authority of the warehouse person will come and he will go to the transaction MI20 and he will put the physical inventory document number and he will just execute. So now this person will be able to see the stock of system as well as the quantity which is in the books. When I say book quantity, this is SAP quantity. This is counted quantity. So for first material, which is 7, 8, in books, system is saying it has 105, but he has counted 50 pieces. There is a difference of minus 55. There are minus 55 quantity missing. Second line, he is mentioning that in SAP we have 100 pieces, but in SAP in physically he has 150 plus 55 plus 50. In third case, there is no issue. First line, there is less quantity in physically. Second line, physically we have more quantity. Third line, there is no difference. So if the difference is okay for the person, then he will select the line, click on post difference. If the count is not okay, if he wanted to get this recounted, so he will ask for a recounting here. For me, the counting is okay. I am posting less quantity, more quantity, and same quantity. Select the lines and clicking on post difference. When you put on post difference, you need to give the reason. So the reason might be it is the moment type 701 or 702, I don't remember. I'll just put 0001, 0001, enter. There is an issue with the account determination. I'll go to OBYC. /n OBYC. I should have taken a screenshot of this. Sorry, I missed it. Let me go back. I'll take a screenshot of this because this is the SAP quantity. After I post the difference, the SAP quantity will get changed. So this is the SAP quantity. If you go to MMBE and check, you will be able to see the same quantity in MMBE. Okay. So I go here, I go to GBP. Add the line. Why I am in display mode. Then somewhere the OBYC is open. Here. I'm into GBP. X, Y, Z. What is the error I get? XYZ INV. INV. This and this. Save. Enter. It says unrestricted 5 kg 8178 deficit. Why is it showing a deficit? What is this deficit issue? I think I'm not using the correct movement type. One 15. No, I'm not using the correct movement type. Let me post only these two as of now, or let me change the count. Change the count. For this 8178, what is the stock I have seen there? 8178. Okay, 8178. I have seen 105. But what is the issue? Let me take 100. Save it. What is the difference? I'm just putting the reason 7920. 7920. Reason 0003 is not available for 701 or 701. We have this. Okay, so I'm posting the difference. So initially I had a book quantity of this. Let me take a screenshot again of it. Let me take a screenshot of this because the quantity is changed now. So now let me go and post it. I'm putting the difference as 0003 and 0001, and I'm going to save it. So as soon as I save, I will get a document getting created. If I open this document in Migo transaction, you will have the Migo transaction here somewhere. And if I put this display and put the document enter, so we have posted two differences. We have not posted three differences because one was okay. So for this material, 8178. For 8178, initially we had 105. And if I refresh now, stock got changed to 100 because we subtracted 5 pieces. You can see the subtraction value here. 702 is the moment type which got triggered with the direction minus. So 5 pieces got subtracted. And for this material, the second material, we increase the quantity for the second material. For 5 series, if I see the screenshot, I had 100 pieces. So now if I go and put this here and execute, now I have 150 pieces. So 50 pieces got increased. You can see plus 50 pieces. So this is how you can adjust your stock whenever is required, and not whenever required, I meant. So it should be when there is a discrepancy in the stock. You should have the genuine reason for it, saying that this is a reason why this has happened. And only then the finance people also will agree on it, and they will approve the changes in the physical inventory. Okay. Any questions? Any questions? Okay. If no questions, then this is how the physical inventory works. And in EWM, the physical inventory is a bit different. Okay, that we will not be able to see because we don't have extended warehouse management. So try to practice this physical inventory and also try to play with the stock, what you have in system, so that you will be able to understand how the stock is getting transferred from one place to other place, how the stock is coming in, how it is going out, and if there is any discrepancy, how are we going to adjust those? Okay. Any questions?
Do you have any workflow, process flow kind of thing where step by step it's mentioned to use the transaction codes
Workflow,
for a particular?
for which you are referring to workflow?
I mean, for a particular activity, for example, for updating the inventory. So, is there any document or something?
You want the document or
SOP
the
kind of
workflow?
thing?
Workflow is different. As per me, workflow is nothing but an approval flow. You want a
Yes,
document to see the process, or you want
yes.
the workflow in SAP system?
Workflow in SAP system.
Workflow in SAP system, we don't have it for physical inventory. We don't have any approval process in for physical inventory.
Okay.
Any more questions? Any questions? Fine. If no questions, then we'll meet at the evening. We'll discuss about the explore phase at evening class. Thanks. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.